Assessment, Assessment, Assessment by Jerry Ferguson, Raina Geffrey, Patricia Grant, and Nora Hickman. In this presentation, we will discuss different types of assessment that teachers could use in the classroom. The biggest question is, what is assessment? Wikipedia says it's the process of documenting, usually in measurable terms, knowledge, skills, attitudes, and beliefs. Assessment is at the heart of education. There are two key questions about assessment. Where do we want students to be at the end of a course or program? And how will we know if they get there? Authentic assessments evaluate students in real-world context. It teaches and assesses 21st century skills and often involves high levels of Bloom's taxonomy. The downside is it can be time-consuming to create and grade, and teachers must have rubrics and specific expectations in place. Technology can be used in authentic assessments in a variety of ways, such as video presentations, PowerPoint, and webcams, or other technological projects. Closed task assessments are assessments such as multiple choice, true, false, or fill in the blank. These assessments typically have one answer and are used to assess content-based standards. These assessments usually take less time to create and grade and for students to take. Weaknesses of this type of assessment is that it usually tests low levels of Bloom's taxonomy and does not teach 21st century skills. Technology can be used through Microsoft Word, Whiteboard, Smartboard, clickers, or student response systems, and teachers could also create closed task assessments on the computer through software such as Moodle or hot potato quizzes. Closed assessments are tests where students would read a passage and choose words that fit best in the context. Teachers can determine a student's understanding of the reading process and their understanding of content vocabulary. This type of assessment encourages students to monitor while they're reading. These could be less motivating for students and do not help teach or assess 21st century skills. There are many websites or programs where teachers could find pre-made closed assessments or build custom assessments. Some assessments could even be graded on the computer. Common formative assessments are assessments that all students in a grade level or district would take together. Teachers would be able to compare data and analyze how students did to get a big picture of their test scores. They're usually created collaboratively, and teachers should not be working independently, but instead working together. These type of assessments are typically fair for students, and grading is consistent. Teachers must have expectations and rubrics in place in order to be effective, and teachers definitely need time for collaboration. Teachers could create online common formative assessments such as Scantron tests, MAPS tests, hot potato quizzes, or on Moodle. Students could sometimes take the tests on the computers instead of on paper. Concept mapping is a type of assessment where students would create webs or other maps to show their understanding of a topic. This works well for individuals or groups and can be very motivating. It also works very well for visual learners. Auditory learners may not like this assignment as well as the visual learners. It requires students to have a depth of understanding in order to be successful. Concept maps can easily be created utilizing software applications and online. These things can often be printed to turn in. Entrance and exit slips are a powerful assessment tool for teachers to assess learning and review concepts. It causes the students to pre-write or pre-think about the lesson or review a previous lesson. It usually involves a short constructed response that can also check writing and grammar skills. Students can reflect on what they have learned, and it's a fairly quick assessment, giving students only about 5 or 10 minutes to complete. Teachers must be flexible to adjust their teaching and lessons based on the results of their entrance or exit slips. Teachers must also have the time to give timely and specific feedback to students. Teachers can have entrance slips on the projector as the students walk into the classroom. Teachers can also model proficient responses by quickly typing them on Word and walking through them as a class. Entrance and exit slips could be done at home in the form of a discussion forum, where students would be able to reply to others. Essay assessments are typically used in intermediate grades and secondary education. These tests test writing skills on different types of writing, such as expository or narrative. These tests can not only assess student understanding of content, but also their ability to organize and communicate clearly. Grading could be subjective and inconsistent but teachers need to have rubrics in place in order to be successful. These assessments can also be time-consuming to grade. Technology aspect could be students typing their essays on Word and submitting them online through email or a class website. Formative assessments record development in progress rather than a completed project. This is an ongoing part of an activity, but can be very time-consuming for teachers. Teachers could create Microsoft Excel spreadsheets to enter data and keep a running record of how students are doing. Teachers could also videotape or record students completing activities to have proof of their progress. Individual oral presentations are a type of assessment where students would share a project they have created. Students are able to express and communicate their skills in multiple ways. They also have opportunities to use visuals and distribute items to the audience members. Students could have lots of fun by dressing up or acting out parts of their presentation. Some students may be uncomfortable with these type of presentations, and grading can be difficult or subjective. Technology could be a great enhancement, such as PowerPoint or video clips, and can also be used in many creative ways for students to create presentations.